Hi, I'm Abby from The Female Dancer, and today I'm going to talk to you about your dance CV. So one of the main reasons why I wanted to do these videos was because I wanted to answer some of the questions that I get asked all the time, not just by my dancers, but by dancers that are applying to us and by dancers that we meet when we're on jobs as well. And that is about the dance CV. Everything I'm going to say to you today obviously is just in my opinion, based on the CVs that I like to get, based on the CVs that I like to read, based on the CVs of dancers that are successful, that get our attention, that are successful in our business. Obviously if you went to someone else they might say something completely different, and obviously everyone's entitled to their opinion, but this is just my opinion and based on the experience that I've had within my company. Obviously your dance CV is a little bit different from your work CV, because the likelihood with your work CV is that you haven't had that many jobs, that you're likely to stay at a job for a couple of years, so you have enough room on your CV to write how long you were at the job, your roles and responsibilities at the job and all that kind of thing. Whereas on a dance CV you're likely to have short, sharp jobs, you're likely to kind of work here one time, here another time, so you want to list them all. Don't list them all in the way that you do on a normal CV, because then you get pages and pages and pages. And one of my biggest things I hate about dance CVs is long CVs. I had someone once send me a 7-page CV. Now, with the best will in the world, I'm not going to read 7 pages worth of CV, and I'm quite nosy, so I actually like reading CVs, but 7 pages, that's not going to happen. I'm sorry, I'm going to give up, I'm going to get bored. And also the other thing is if you have loads and loads of pages on your CV, is that I lose them. Like, I'm like, oh, hang on, well, which CV did this come from? And like, well, where's this page come from? Like, I suddenly have an extra page, like, attached to a wrong CV. So I think it's always good to try and keep your CV on one page. A 1-page CV does not mean that you are an inexperienced dancer. The length of your CV has nothing to do with the jobs that you've had or what you've done. You can get to the point, you can be succinct, and you can have everything quite clearly on 1 page, and that makes it easier for us, makes it easier for you, and it makes it clearer. So I have a CV here that I have done. This is a completely fake CV and it's got mostly my details on it, so you know, it really is just an example of what you should put on it and what you could put on it. So this is what it looks like in all on 1 page. So you would have your name at the top, so I've got Abby Brown, and then that's the most important thing. I need to know your name, yeah, and then I need to know what you look like. And I'm sorry, I know it's why does it matter, but unfortunately in this industry it matters. It doesn't mean that one look is more attractive or less attractive, but we need to know what you look like, because 9 times out of 10 we're probably putting you in a lineup and we either want someone that looks different from the rest of the girls or the same as the rest of the girls or similar. Anyway, that's the way it is. You want your contact information right front and centre, because you want to be able, I don't want to think I'm going to hire her, right, I can't get hold of her, I can't find her email address, I can't find her phone number, I can't get hold of her, that's it, she's out. So you want your email address and your phone number front and centre. Then you want your personal details down the side. Now your personal details are things like your height, your eye colour, your hair colour, your build, your dress size, nationality, your date of birth, your playing age. Don't take it personally and don't worry. You do not have to be 5'10" and a dress size 8 or dress size 6. It's crazy. You don't have to do that. Some companies might ask for that, but most companies don't. The reason why we have these things, for starters, the reason why we have things like your hair colour and your eye colour is because if you have a black and white photo, or if my printer's not working very well, I might not be able to see what colour your hair is. And we had one audition, for example, where we desperately needed blonde girls, because we had no blondes and it was looking like we had a thing against blondes. So we really needed some blondes. So it's one of those things where we want to know. Like in this picture of me, which is a very, very old photo of me, and it's not a very good example because I'm not actually looking at the camera, but my hair looks quite dark, so you'd be forgiven because it's black and white for thinking that I am a really dark brunette or something like that. So we need to put a hair colour down there. Your nationality, give or take, not the end of the world. Your dress size and things like that, and your height. Your height's quite important. I would say that your height's very important actually, because if I'm doing a lineup of girls and they're all 5'6", and then I get I've got 7 girls and I need an 8th, and I get CVs from a girl that I love and it's great and she's 6 foot. It's not going to work, and it's not going to work the other way around either. If I've got a lineup of 5'11" and I get a CV through of a girl that's 5'3", it's not going to work. So it's not necessarily a case of you having to be tall, but it's a case of us needing to know to see if you fit in. So don't take offence to these and don't stress about it. Whatever your height, whatever your shoe size, whatever your size is, it doesn't really matter. The important thing is that we can find it. The other thing that we use that for very often is if I haven't necessarily taken your measurements and we're about to do a job, then I will use that to costume you. So highly recommended necessarily that you don't lie on your dress size, because your costume won't fit. Then underneath that, we move on to credits. So your credits obviously are your jobs. So you want to put the date. Just put the year. I don't care when in the year you did it. Just put the year. Then your role. Then the production, the location and the company. So, for example, date 2017, role pro cheerleader, production Burton Albion Football Club, location Burton Albion UK, company Darley Dance. So that's what one of my girls might have on their CV now, because we've just been doing a job where we've been in residence pro cheerleading at Burton Albion. So that would be that. You might have dancer, production, Cinderella, pantomime, location, London, company, Joe Bloggs Productions, whatever it is. Or you might have 2014, the holiday resort that you worked at, you know, the lovely beach hotel, Spain, the company that you work for. So it's listed like this, so I can easily look down and say, right, well, she's done some showgirl work on a cruise ship, she's done a feature film, she's done some commercial dancing for a music video. Easy. And then the dates. How active have you been this year, last year, all that kind of thing. Don't worry if you were on a cruise ship for the whole of 2015, so you just write 2015, Princess Cruises, P&O Cruises or whatever. You kind of guess that you've probably been on the cruise ship for more than a day. But yeah, put them down there. Then what you can do, obviously, is you can add to it and take it away. And if this starts getting long and starts bumping the rest of things off the pages, start condensing some of your jobs. I don't need to know every dance show that you did when you were at dance school. Start taking them off. Just put dance school, the name of your dance school, various shows, or various corporate events, or various catwalk things. Whatever it was, you can start condensing the ones that were years and years and years and years ago. Or you can condense down a few, you know, pick your highlights and put them on there. Don't let this start bumping these off the page, because that's where we start going on to page 2 and it's just boring. Training, obviously, training is your next bit. So that's where you put, obviously, if you have a degree, if you have college training, if you are ISTD qualified, if you're NATD qualified, if you have, and whatever it is, obviously, that's where your training goes. The one underneath is skills. So I normally put dance first. So I would put things like tap, ballet, commercial, contemporary, whatever it is that are your skill set, point work, whatever it is that is your skill set, dance wise, put that first. So put dance and then your skill set. Then after that, put other. And that's where you add in acting or singing, or put your range as well. Or like ice skating, swimming, because it might be, and we did have one year that we needed ice skaters, so then we needed dancers, but they needed to do ice skating. So ice skating, put it on there, we'll have a look. Fire breathing, I don't know, whatever it is that you have as a skill, put it on there. Then also underneath, that's where you put your driving license, full and clean driving license, CRB checks, CRB, first aid if you're a first aider, anything like that can go there as well. So you have dance, list your dance across, other, list it across, driving licence, CRB, first aid, whatever it is, down there. Then at the bottom, put references available on request. Don't bother writing all your reference details, and it's not worth it. If we need references, we'll ask you about it, so don't worry. So that's all on one page, and that's good. And we've got the picture at the top as well. Always put the picture at the top. Do not forget to put your picture on there, because it's a nightmare for me to know. I don't know what you look like. Then likelihood is that we will add it to the back of your headshot. If you go to an audition and you're asked to take your CV, always take your CV with the picture and then your headshot. Always take it. Even if you haven't been asked to take them to an audition, take them anyway. Yeah, have them prepared, have them ready, nice and neat. Have them. This is Steph. She's one of our dancers. Lovely headshot. Much better than the one on the front. But we're likely to do that. We're likely to either put them in a plastic file like that, or we're likely to staple them. And so that's why I'm saying we'll only really read the first page anyway. And you might flick to see if you've got a CRB or something, or DBS as it now is in the UK. So keep it straightforward, succinct, list, brilliant, lovely. That's on paper, yeah? When you do it on the computer, obviously before you even consider taking it anywhere or sending it anywhere, make sure that you spell check it, make sure that you check your paragraphs, make sure you double check all your details, everything. Go through it. It's so easy to make typos and things like that, but go through it. The points on this, just to let you know, these are all kind of aerial, and I think they're 11 point. The titles above them are sort of 14 point. We're not going massive on any of them. You don't want to go tiny. I don't want to be trying to read an 8 point CV, but at the same time you don't need like a 14 point one either. So these are all sort of 11 and 14 is the headers. I've also expanded the margins, so I've done narrow margins on this, but it's fine, it still prints off absolutely fine. What you want to do though, when you're sending it on an email, is convert it to a PDF, because if you convert it to a PDF, then when it comes through to me on my phone, if I open it on my phone, it will have the exact layout as it has when I did it. If you have a Windows document or something like that, when I get it on my phone, it jumbles it, which is a bit annoying. I mean, it's not that bad. You can still see it, but it's frustrating. It's one of those ones that I'll open on my phone and go, oh, I'll read it on my computer later. So you want to make sure that you convert it into a PDF before you send it off, so that it goes through nice and straightforward. The other thing you want to do is make sure that you name the file right. So it needs to say Abby Burns Dance CV, or obviously whatever your name is. You don't want my newest CV, my latest CV, dance CV. Don't call it anything. Everybody calls it things like that. Very often, if we have a job up, we'll get loads of CVs coming through. If we don't have a job up, we still do get CVs coming through. And if I download your file to have a look at it, it's going to save to my computer as my CV or dance CV. Don't do that. Make sure it saves in the file name that you want it to be, and the file name that you want it to be is your name. So make sure it says Abby Burns Dance CV or Joe Blogs Dance CV, whatever your name is. Make sure it says that as a dance CV. And that's really the most basic things that I can tell you, and that really is, don't overcomplicate it. If you're a dancer, I know what your roles were. If you're a showgirl, I know what your roles were. If you're a children's entertainer, I know what your roles were. Host, you don't need to tell me, I know, so don't worry about it. Dance captain is a good one if you have taken charge and things like that. So you don't need to tell me that you were in charge, because if you put dance captain, I'm going to know that. So what I'll do, because obviously I'm guessing this might be backwards as well, what I'll do is I will put a copy of this underneath for you to download and have a look at, so that you can use it as a template for your CV. So just remember that we want to know who you are, and we want to know how to get in touch with you, and we want to know what you've done, and really when, where and who. That's it. We don't need all the details. And then any extra skills at the bottom, put them at the bottom. So I will put a copy of that down below this video so that you can download it and have a look at it for yourself. But it really is that easy. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't do pages and pages and pages. Just keep it simple, straightforward. Good luck.